Have you been dreaming about building your perfect home and moving into a brand new community with modern finishes, green space, and close proximity to the city? If so, then Catalpa Farms neighborhood located in the east end of Louisville, Kentucky might just be the perfect fit for you. In today's video, I'm going to give you a full neighborhood tour of Catalpa Farms. I'm going to give you the pros and cons, talk about your builder options, and even hop in the car and take you on a driving tour of this community so you can really see what is going on, how many construction sites do we have in this neighborhood, what are the streets really looking like here in 2025. By the end of this video, I hope you'll have all the information you need to know to make an informed decision about whether Catalpa Farms might be a good fit for you and your family to live. Now make sure to stick around to the end of this video because Catalpa Farms is not going to be for everyone. So I'm going to make sure to share with you a couple of other options that you might want to consider if you're looking for new construction in the Jefferson County area. I'm Katie Skeen, a local realtor here in Louisville, Kentucky, and let's get right into it. Let's talk about the pros in the Catalpa Farms neighborhood of Louisville, Kentucky. Now, the first thing is that it has that new construction appeal. So if you're really dreaming of a new construction house, there are only so many options within Jefferson County for new construction, and this area is going to be one of them. You are going to have to move closer out to the east end of Louisville to find the land to be able to build your custom dream home, but Catalpa Farms is one that still has lots of lots and options available. People love new construction because of the modern amenities. It's energy efficient. Everything is new. Nobody has been there. Nobody has lived there. If you're doing a custom home, you can actually pick out the finishes that you want. So if you want that completely brand new feel, this is going to be a huge pro for you. Another pro of this community in particular is that you are going to have production builders, semi-custom, and custom builders. So you are going to have all of those options here. Lots of new construction communities might only be the production builders, but in this neighborhood, you're going to have the option of both. So if you're working at a lower price point, you are going to be able to work with the Pulte construction company that is a production builder in this neighborhood. Their prices start in the 375s and go all the way up to around 500,000. So if that's what you're looking for, they're going to have quick move-in options ready for you. But if you're someone who wants to pick out your own finishes, you want to be involved in the construction process start to finish, then you can work with a semi-custom or custom home builder. This is a huge advantage because you can pick the lot, you can pick the finishes, you can decide the quality of materials that go into that. So I love this Catalpa Farms that you have this really great mixture of custom homes, but then also at that lower price point, you can still get into this neighborhood if you're willing to go with that production builder. Another pro of this neighborhood is the green space and beauty. They have walking trails, they have dedicated green spaces in the community, and it just has this really beautiful rolling hills environment. When you drive out to the community, you're driving through some farmland in Kentucky, so it's just outside of the Gene Snyder Expressway, so it is a little bit further out, but it has a really rural, peaceful feel, but you're still not that far from the city. The last pro is convenience. Like I told you, most of the new construction neighborhoods are pretty far to the east, so you are about 10 to 15 minutes to get into the city in Jeffersontown, Kentucky, or getting up to Middletown. It's not going to be that far of a drive for you to get to some of those shopping amenities that you need, restaurants, Target, all of that kind of stuff. Let's talk about some of the amenities that you can find in the Catalpa Farms neighborhood of Louisville, Kentucky. Right behind me is this beautiful pavilion. This neighborhood has several green spaces. There are walking paths. This neighborhood is also interconnected with Shakes Run. Now in that area, you're going to find a clubhouse, a community pool, a playground. There are so many options within these two communities of amenities right here within the neighborhood. In Catalpa Farms, you are also going to be able to find some wooded home sites. So if that's a value to you to have that natural environment, there are several lots available that have that environment. When you drive around the streets, kind of off in the distance, you are going to see these beautiful mature trees and wooded landscapes. Further into the neighborhood, if you connect with the Shakes Run community, you are also going to have a fitness center, fishing ponds, and outdoor gathering spaces. Now, to have access to some of those amenities in the Shakes Run neighborhood, you are going to actually have to join and pay a fee for that. But living in Catalpa Farms, you are having the option and availability to join and receive those amenities and benefits. Another amenity is your access to the Bluegrass shops. Now, these are our outlet shops in Simpsonville, just outside of Jefferson County. You are also very close proximity to Jeffersontown, Kentucky. They have so many wonderful things in J-Town: restaurants, community events, and shopping. So it's not going to be that far in either direction for you to get to the amenities and shopping and restaurants that you'd be looking for. Now, if recreation is what you're interested in, you are within close proximity to the Parklands Park System, specifically Beckley Creek. This is a beautiful park that has walking, hiking, soccer fields, playground, splash ground, fishing holes. It has everything that you'd be looking for as far as natures, and in my opinion, it's one of the nicest parks that we have. This Parklands Park System has several different locations, and you are not that far from Beckley Creek. Now, if golf is what you love, you are not that far from several golf courses, both public and private. So those are definitely some of the amenities in the Catalpa Farms neighborhood. Here in a second, I'm going to tell you all the information about what you need to know about the real estate in the Catalpa Farms neighborhood. I'm going to go over the different builders. I'm going to tell you some of the different price points in more detail so that you can get an idea of what you can afford here in this neighborhood. But before I do that, I just wanted to pause to tell you what a privilege it is for me to make these videos for you. I absolutely love giving you an insider's tour, an inside scoop in what these neighborhoods are like in Louisville, Kentucky. But what I love even more than making these videos is helping people just like you relocate to Louisville or move within the Louisville, Kentucky area. It is my absolute honor and privilege to work with you. So I'm going to go ahead and throw my contact information up on the screen. I would love it if you would give me a quick call or text, and we can get the discussion started about what it might look like for you to relocate to this area. I want to make sure to get you all the information you need to know and get you in the right community that would be the best fit for you and your loved ones. So go ahead and send me a quick call or text, and I really look forward to speaking with you soon. Let's talk about some of the real estate in the Catalpa Farms neighborhood in Louisville, Kentucky. Now, this is a new construction neighborhood, so it is very unlikely at this point in time that you are going to find a resale home in the neighborhood. It's not impossible, but most people have moved in the last few years, and this neighborhood is very much continuing to be developed. So you're not going to see as much resale inventory, but you are going to see opportunities to purchase lots. You are going to see semi and custom home builders building on spec. And then, of course, you have your production builder in that neighborhood, which is Pulte. And they are going to have some quick move-ins and some move-in readies that they're building on spec that you will see come onto the MLS that you can purchase, or you're going to be able to work with Pulte to actually be involved in the start to finish construction process where you're picking the lot, you're picking the design, you're picking some of the finishes. So they have those semi-custom options available to you as well. For the Pulte production homes, you are looking at anywhere from $375,000 all the way up to $500,000. They are only going to have a couple of design options as far as the layout of the property as well as the finishes. If you are wanting a basement, only a couple of their construction plans include basements. It's very common in these production builder new construction to not see a basement at this price point. And of course, if there is a basement, it's just roughed in. It's not actually been finished out. These properties have between 3 to 5 bedrooms. They're open concept, they're energy efficient. All of the things that you love about new construction is true of these: fresh, clean, new, no one's been there. So I know my clients who like new construction just love that about these homes. Now, the great thing about Catalpa Farms is you can also do a semi-custom or custom home build. You can work with a custom home builder and pick every single aspect of your property. Now, these homes are going to come with a higher price tag, of course. These homes typically range from $500,000 all the way up over $850,000. Now, that's just for the construction. That's not necessarily going to include the lot. That is going to be something that you're going to close on separate and then work with that custom home builder to get the home of your dreams. So much of the budget depends on what you are choosing as far as your finishes, your cabinetry, your hardware. All of those things add up. And if you have a luxurious taste like I tend to have, then you're probably going to be up closer to that $850,000 or $900,000 price point. The lots in this neighborhood do vary quite a bit, but they are not huge, spacious lots. Now, particularly with the sites for Pulte, some of those are gonna be really small. You're not gonna have a big backyard. Some of them are on sloped land, so you'll really have to pay close attention to which lot you're choosing. This is why having a realtor represent your best interest in the process of a new construction home can be so valuable, because we're trained and we're thinking about some of those things that you might not be noticing and that the builder or the Pulte rep might not be pointing out to you. So always make sure to invite someone like me along who's looking out for your best interest and helping you think through some of the logistics and lot questions and asking all the right questions to make sure you make a great choice with your new construction home. Now, some of the lots in the neighborhood are a little bit bigger, but like I said, none of these lots are huge. None of them are going to have huge, spacious backyards. Two properties I want to share with you. One is currently listed as of May 2025. It is 3205 Catalpa Farms Drive. It is a 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath with 3,609 square feet, and it is listed at $714,900. Now, this is a custom-built home that was built on spec, so the builder purchased that lot, they built the home, and now they are trying to sell it. I have seen some of this particular builder's inventory, and he really does a nice job. It is a beautiful home. So this is what you can expect from that price point in Catalpa Farms. The other property I want to share with you is a Pulte property. I believe this one was probably built on spec, but it is 19128 Catalpa Fields Place. It is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and has 2,426 above grade square feet. There was no basement at all. This one was built on a slab, and it closed at $409,835. Up next, we are going to go on a driving tour of this beautiful neighborhood so you can know exactly what it's like to be walking and driving down the streets in Catalpa Farms in Louisville, Kentucky. So now we're going to hop on the map and take a look at exactly where the Catalpa Farms neighborhood is located within our area. Here it is right here. Now, when you look at the city of Louisville, you know that we have two outer belts. This outer belt, 265, we locals call it the Gene Snyder Expressway. The inner outer belt, which is 264, is called the Watterson Expressway. You can see that Catalpa Farms is well outside the Gene Snyder Expressway. So this is as far east as you can get within Jefferson County. And actually, Catalpa Farms is located within Fisherville, Kentucky. And Fisherville actually is partly in Jefferson County and partly in Spencer County. So you really are getting way out there as far east as you can get in this Catalpa Farms neighborhood and still be in Jefferson County. When we talk about access to main roads and major freeways and expressways, you are quite a bit out there. So you are going to have to come outside of the neighborhood. You're going to have to come up and connect with Taylorsville Road. And then Taylorsville Road can either take you over here to the Gene Snyder Expressway. Taylorsville Road can also take you all the way up to Hurstbourne. It intersects with the Watterson. It also takes you pretty much all the way into the city via Bardstown, Baxter roads. So Taylorsville Road is going to be your main road. It can also take you down to Taylorsville, Kentucky. So you are going to be relying heavily on Taylorsville Road. Now you can also go out the north side of the neighborhood, come through Shakes Run, and connect up here to Shelbyville Road. That is going to be able to bring you over to this Middletown area, which there's a lot of amenities over in Middletown as well. But it's just important to realize you're a little bit further out from some of these main roads, some of these interstates. So your commute times are going to be longer than some of the other areas. In order to get on up to Cincinnati, Ohio, it says that it's 105 miles. It's going to take you about an hour and 47 minutes. Again, you're having to get over here to the Gene Snyder Expressway, come up to Interstate 71, and then head on up. If you're heading up to Indianapolis, it says it takes 2 hours and 7 minutes. Again, your access is going to be to come out to Taylorsville Road, to hop onto the Gene Snyder Expressway, take the East End Bridge to connect up to Interstate 65. If you are wanting to come to Nashville, same thing. You are coming over to the Gene Snyder and going to the south and heading south on Interstate 65. Right now, at this time of day, it's a 2 hour and 50-minute drive. To go east over to Lexington, you actually are going to be able to come out this backside of the neighborhood and get onto Interstate 64, which will take you all the way over to the Lexington area. This is about an hour drive. Let's take a look at some of our more local commute times and how this will impact you as you're going to work. If you are working in the downtown area, as I told you, you're quite a bit outside the city on the eastern part of Jefferson County. So you are going to have to come down here to the Gene Snyder and get connected with 64. 64 will take you all the way into downtown. This is 24.1 miles. It's going to be about a 30-minute commute when there's not a lot of traffic. So if you're coming east at rush hour time in the evening, this 64, and especially right here where 64 and the Gene Snyder meet up, that can be a really highly populated traffic area. It tends to get backed up. So I wouldn't be surprised if you would see 45-minute commute times to get out of the city and home in the evening. Now, if you are commuting down to the airport because maybe you have to fly a lot for your job, or maybe you're just someone who likes to travel, again, the constant theme is coming out here to Taylorsville Road, getting connected with the Gene Snyder. You're going to take 64 up to the Watterson Expressway and down to the airport. It's saying it's about a 27-minute drive right now. I know there's an accident right here on the Watterson, so obviously that could be impacting things as well, but it is a 22-mile drive. Now, some areas where you will be a lot closer as far as work, if for some reason you are working in the Simpsonville area or the Shelbyville area and you still are wanting to live in Jefferson County, be a little bit closer to the city of Louisville and have all the amenities that Louisville has to offer, this would be really quick and easy access up to Simpsonville or Shelbyville. Even if you're commuting as far as Frankfort, those all would be options where you're trying to live as far east in Louisville as you can. This would be a great option for that. When we are talking about grocery stores, your closest Kroger is going to be this one on Taylorsville Road that is over in J-Town. I do actually really want to see how far it says that takes because I'm not honestly totally sure. They're saying to get from Catalpa Farms over to that Kroger is 6.3 miles and it is 11 minutes. So this is definitely going to be one of your areas where you have a lot of access and amenities. So you have a Kroger over in this area, Taco Bell. I know there is a Starbucks, looks like there's a Subway. So to get to that area is going to be about 10 to 12 minutes. That Kroger is going to be your closest, but you also have a couple of Publix options up here, Aldi over here. You could also come right into this Taylorsville Road and connect up to Hurstbourne. So you probably are going to go up that way as well. So these commute times are definitely longer. I'm really curious to see what happens here when we put it to the target test. So when I put it to the target test, it's saying it's 13.6 miles to a target. It is 21 minutes away via 64. Now you can have the option when you're coming down here on Taylorsville Road to just continue on Taylorsville to get over to this area, or you can take the expressway, the Gene Snyder up to 64, and then come on down to Hurstbourne that way. It's probably just going to depend on what time of day, but most of your amenities, restaurants, shopping, all of that, you're going to have to come into J-Town to be able to access all of that. So let's just talk about some of the access and things that there are in this J-Town area. So you are going to have a ton of restaurants, okay, up in this area, fast food, Chick-fil-A, you've got a lot of chain restaurants. And then of course, right up here where this Target is, you also have a Home Depot. You also have a movie theater over in Stony Brook on this side. So there's a lot out there in that J-Town area. If we zoom in on this little downtown J-Town area, you would just go out of the neighborhood out to Taylorsville Road. You're coming all the way into this downtown J-Town area. We have so many great little restaurants down here. The first one I want to point out to you is Rec Bar. It's a really fun, restaurant bar, and it has all of these vintage pinball machines and video games. It's good for adults. It's good for kids. Everybody loves this place. So that's a really fun environment, pretty good food in that downtown J-Town area. You also have Barcelona Bistro, El Nepal, Boone's Deli, Dickey's Barbecue. You've got a Beer Nose Pizza. There's a couple of other pizza places down here as well. So it's, 10 to 15 minutes to get from Catalpa Farms all the way down, down into this downtown area where you have quite a few restaurants. You've got a Parlor Pizza. That is really great pizza in a fun atmosphere as well. I saw that there was an I Love Tacos. And then if you go just a little bit further down to Hurstbourne Parkway, that is really the mecca where you have so many options for restaurants. But that is going to be probably closer to a 20-minute drive to get down there. Many of you are wondering about schools in this area, so I'm just going to highlight a few of them for you. Now, if you live in Catalpa Farms, you are going to be part of the Jefferson County Public School District. This school district can be kind of complicated to navigate, so you're actually going to have multiple elementary school choices in this neighborhood. One of those is going to be Farmer Elementary, so you will come out of the neighborhood, come down this way, and then head on down to Farmer. Farmer has a great schools rating of 7 out of 10. So it is going to be one of 3 or 4 choices that you will have for elementary school. For your middle school option, you are going to have Echo Trail Middle School. Now, this is such a new middle school that it doesn't even have a rating yet, but it is brand new in the last year or two. It's a beautiful facility, and we're expecting great things out of this middle school. As far as high school, you are going to be zoned for Jeffersontown High School. So let me show you where that is on the map over here, right in downtown. So you are going to be over in this area. You're going to come down here up Taylorsville Road. Jeffersontown High School is rated a 2 out of 10 on the Great Schools ratings. Now, some of your closest private schools are going to be St. Michael's. That is a K-8 Catholic school. Or you can come up here to Christian Academy of Louisville. That is a K-12 school, highly rated Christian school in the area. So those are probably going to be your 2 closest choices for private school to the Catalpa Farms neighborhood. Now, there are going to be several cons to living in this Catalpa Farms neighborhood. The first one is ongoing construction. This is going to be true of any new construction neighborhood, but other people also want to build their dream house as well. So when you're living in this neighborhood, it could be years before the development is truly finished. So you're going to have to put up with the construction noise, the construction dust, all of those vendors and the subcontractors coming in and out of the neighborhood every single day and working maybe even on your neighbor's house right next door. So this can definitely be a con of a new construction neighborhood. Another con is that you are going to have HOA dues and restrictions. Some people just don't like being told what color their house has to be, so you are going to have to stick within those HOA guidelines. There's going to be restrictions related to types of materials, colors, things like fencing, so anytime you're wanting to make a change to your property, you're going to have to check those HOA deed restrictions to see what you are able to do as far as improvements to your property or stylistic changes that you might want to make. And then the last con is its distance to the urban core. While this is within Jeffersontown, Kentucky, it is quite a bit out there. So you are going to be outside of the Gene Snyder Expressway. It is going to take you a while to kind of get to all of the action that's within the Watterson Expressway, sometimes even up over 30 minutes. So while it's not too far out there, you do have quite a bit of a drive to get to a Target, to get to the grocery store, and then if you're really wanting to come into the city, especially during rush hour, it can be quite of a commute. Now here in a minute, I'm going to give you several other neighborhoods that you might want to consider if you think Catalpa Farms might not just be the perfect fit for you. But before I do that, I just wanted to tell you about a free guide that I've made just for viewers like you. It's called my Relocation Roadmap. Now, I actually made this because when I relocated here 13 years ago, I know what it felt like. It was totally overwhelming to me. I didn't know what steps to take. I didn't know how to pick the neighborhood. There were so many questions that I had in relocating here. So I decided to put some of those ideas down onto paper and to make a step-by-step guide and process that you can follow when you're relocating here to Louisville, Kentucky. So if you're thinking about making the move to Louisville, I want you to go ahead and look in the description of this video for the link to my free relocation roadmap. You can go ahead and download that. It's a completely free resource to you. I made it with a desire to help viewers like you who are relocating. So please go ahead and download that relocation roadmap so you can have a step-by-step process that makes it feel a little bit less overwhelming to move to this area. Okay, so if you're thinking Catalpa Farms might not be the right fit for you, then there's two other communities I want to share with you. The first is Shakes Run. This is actually the community that you can get to. It's kind of interconnected with Catalpa Farms. It has a few more community amenities. It has some larger houses, some higher price points. So if you're looking for a larger community with more amenities and more options as far as your building, then Shakes Run is a really great community to consider. Now, if you're thinking that new construction, while it sounds nice, but living next to a construction site for the next 5 to 10 years does not sound nice, then I'm going to recommend Saratoga Woods to you. This is a well-established, beautiful neighborhood just inside the Gene Snyder Expressway in Jeffersontown, Kentucky. These are newer resale homes. They're mostly built in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, but still, it's not like super old, right? If you're closer to the city, you're going to be closer to the 1930s, 1950s, somewhere in there. So these were more modernly constructed homes. They also have a community pool in that neighborhood. It's going to be a similar price point to Catalpa Farms, so you should be able to find something similarly priced, still with a little bit of a larger lot, and the construction is complete in that neighborhood, so you're not going to have to bother with all of the issues that come up when they're building houses all around you. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope it's been helpful to you to learn about the Catalpa Farms neighborhood in Louisville, Kentucky. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.